I might be about to make the most controversial decision I've made of this series so far. Enzo Fernandez might be on his way out the door. The 23-year-old, of course, a high-profile signing in real life for Chelsea, signed for £103 million. I've given him quite a lot of first-team football. I've given him 39 games to prove himself. He's not proven himself in my eyes. And Bayern Munich have made a bid of 66 million that I think I'm going to take. The reality is, with the addition of Yuri Tillemans for £1 million, we have another player who is of a very similar mould, and I really could do with that 60 million plus to reinvest elsewhere in the squad. Of course, just as a little reminder, our overall balance right now sits at a negative £130 million, so some money for that would be nice, but we do still get 100% of any future fees. And yeah, for a squad player, at the very best, I'm going to describe him as a squad player, 60 million plus just feels like a no-brainer. Some Chelsea fans probably didn't think I could insult them anymore after the addition of Mason Mount, and here I am outdoing myself. Yeah, welcome back. It's the same me, it's a different Chelsea. Let's see how we get on today, shall we? Yes, folks, welcome back to the Chelsea Let's Play. Today is episode number 12. Today we are in January, and we have a triple header coming up today. Man City, Man United. And I know for some people, their hearts are going to sink at the idea of me playing Man City twice. Blame the EFL Cup draw. It's not my fault that in the semi-finals have been drawn against them. In the same run of games, I'm taking them on in the league prior and Manchester United straight afterwards. It's a pretty big week in our season. Now, if you were wondering, Jack, have you done any more transfer stuff since you agreed to sign Tillemans? No, there has been one new addition. Nipan has now officially joined us, although he has now immediately headed back out on loan to Rosenborg to the end of the year. So no transfers to speak of, but plenty in the way of football in action. We've had a jam-packed December, which of course followed on from that emphatic 3-0 win against Crystal Palace. We went from that game, took on Blackburn in the EFL Cup, battered them 5-0. Rare occasion, Mudryk picked up a hat-trick. This is a guy who he's not wowed me since his arrival to the club in real life, and he's not really wowed me in this save game, but he loves to score in the EFL Cup, apparently. I mean, so far this year, 6 goals in 3 games in the EFL Cup. Hopefully he'll turn up if I play him against Man City later. We then got another really big, important win against Burnley. 3-0 we managed to win. Victor Roque's scoring is always a pleasant sight. Then, a barnstormer of a game against Liverpool. Perhaps looks a little bit closer than it actually was. In a weird way. We were 3-0 up in this game. It looked for a moment like we might choke it when it ended up being 3-2. We grabbed a goal through Arda Güler. They got another late goal. In the end, it finished 4-3. Liverpool this year, massively underperforming, by the way. Media prediction is second. They're in 9th. They did beat us in their most recent league game, though. Yeah, I've played Liverpool twice since we were last here. We'll get onto that game shortly, but the reality is, in our last 3 Premier League games, we've not been able to win. A draw against Leicester, not great. A draw against Arsenal, slightly not quite as not great. It's still not good. Yuri Tillemans did score on his debut from the penalty spot. We then demolished Derby 7-0 in the FA Cup, and we lost against Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool, I don't know what to make of Liverpool. It was very different to the first game against them. I mean, it's fair to say their recent form has not been good. They did beat Man City 3-0. Speaking of which, at one point this year, I thought Man City were going to be our big rivals in the title fight. And in fact, they still could be. But look at this month they just had in December. They have kind of got back on the straight and narrow now, which is a bit of a shame because it's right as we're about to play them in back-to-back games. But their league form has been absolutely abysmal. And as a result of that, despite our form not exactly being amazing, we are still 7 points clear at the top. That said, Manchester United, game in hand on us. If they were to win that, they would move within 7 points as well. Which perhaps now explains why I'm back for the Man City and Manchester United games. They are our 2 immediate rivals. If we were to beat them at this very early point in the second half of the season, it would be great, because we have already played them both once already. On those previous occasions, we beat Manchester United 2-0 and Man City 3-0. Would not mind a repeat of that today. So now that you're all caught up, we've got a triple header to get into. Let's not dilly-dally around. First game up, Man City away, Premier League. It is first versus second. Now, I must point out, if you noticed anything different on some of the other screens during this video, I am using an updated version of my skin. This version isn't publicly available yet, but one of the new look screens is this tactics screen. I feel like it might split some opinions, but I do love the ability to see players' footedness either side of their head, to be able to see their kind of condition and match sharpness as well. And in general, it just feels quite clean and nice. I like it. I know there'll be someone at home sat being grumpy. It's like when Twitter update their layout or Instagram update their layout. You'll get used to it, I promise. So 2 big bits of team news for today's game. Arda Güler is suspended. He got sent off at the end of a game that we were winning. Which game did he get sent off in? I'll tell you which game it was. It was the game against Liverpool 4-3. They just got 1 goal back to make it 4-3 with a minute left on the clock. And he decided to do this. He got a red card for it. He then played 1 game after his 1-game suspension, and then he got given a further 2-match ban. So he actually played a game during the period where he was meant to be banned. Anyway, that's a long way to say he's suspended for today's game. Elsewhere, Caicedo is out with an injury. He did do a fitness test. He failed his fitness test. As a result, we are going with Yuri Tielemans as the deep line playmaker alongside Mason Mount. Ordinarily, Enzo Fernandez would be the man who slots in here, but he's not going to be around for much longer. And if we do just look at Yuri Tielemans, I think he is a really, really good fit for this deep line playmaker position. I mean, you can see here, he ticks a lot of the boxes. Maybe I'd like him to be a bit better defensively, but to be fair, we've never really had that in our deeper playmaker anyway. Elsewhere in the final third, we are going to go with Ansu Fati out on the right-hand side, Sterling on the left, and Kunku up top with Ferguson ahead of him. Ferguson, not quite demonstrated £85 million worth of striker just yet, but maybe today's the day for him to come really, really good. He did score against Man City last time we played them. I mean, so far our record against Man City's been really, really good. I don't think we've lost to them yet in a game, so the fact we're playing them twice here really is tempting fate for that great run of form to come to a close against them. Away from home, probably the toughest league game we're going to have all year. We're 20 minutes in and nothing's happened. I think that's a good thing. That could, although, change rather quickly here. Bernardo Silva with the ball, laying it back to Eder Militao. Of course, Eder Militao joined them last January. Very good player. Erling Haaland's got a knock. They've got Rodrigo in their team, as in Brazilian Rodrigo. They've got Haaland unmarked in the middle. And he finds the back of the net for his 31st goal of the season. We're in January and he's got 31 goals. Sorry. I feel like in past football managers, there was always that really good new-gen striker, you know, the really OP one that would be developed. But there was no real player that would ever perform like that. Erling Haaland is a real-life regen. It's the only logical explanation I can come up with. He's a freak of nature. How have we left him with that much space? It's not a great defensive performance from us there. 3 minutes of added time at the end of this first half. Nothing is happening. The only good news, Erling Haaland has had to go off with his injury. We've killed the giant. Well, like David, we've got a slingshot. Hopefully he's out for a while. That would help them not chase me down. And also help with the next game, because we've got them in the Cup in 3 days. Of course, just in case the FA are watching, and for legal reasons, I do not endorse my players intentionally injuring the opposition. Okay, corners. We've been good at corners. We're a cornery kind of team. They call us the Muller, because we love corners so much. Fofana, Chilwell, hits the crossbar. Is that the chance? We've got plenty of players in the box. Fofana's not going to get there. Man City get it away from danger. Coming up to an hour played here. Looking at the stats, we've not had a lot of the ball, but to be honest, we've had way, way more shots than Man City have in this game so far, for what it's worth. I am going to go more attacking here and throw some players into slightly more adventurous areas, I think, for the remainder of this game. In the final third, Evan Ferguson has been tragic. Tammy Abraham, on you come. Ansu Fati's not been great either. Mudryk, on you come. And you know what? Vitor Roque, I'm feeling in a Vitor Roque kind of mood. We'll keep Sterling on the left. We'll move Vitor Roque out onto the right-hand side. He's got a reasonable left foot, which is better than Raheem Sterling's. Very good inside forward. I am looking at Tielemans on a booking somewhat concerned. You know what? Chalobah, on you come. The John O'Shea of London, they call him. That's a nickname as of last episode. Is going to stick if I keep calling him that. I feel like in 2 episodes' time, I'll just be calling him John O'Shea. Won't elaborate on it. It'll be an in-joke for a few of us. The rest of the general public will be confused. Why does he keep calling Chalobah O'Shea? It's one of life's mysteries. Militao's got a throw in. I really should be focused on the assignment here. The Brazilian lays it back to his Brazilian compadre in Rafinha, who pulls the trigger. Unfortunately for us, shoots wide. Okay, look, I've changed some things, but at this point, we need to get a little bit more adventurous, don't we, with how we play here. Let's get rid of the distributing it out from the back. We're going to play a little bit wider now and try and use the full width of this pitch. Distribute it to the flanks. And while we're changing all of that, also going to go on attacking. We need a goal. We've got 15 minutes to get it. 5 minutes left. I mean, bizarrely, 1-0 away against Man City doesn't really feel like a bad result. But nothing's happened in this game. Nothing. And that's full time. We play them in 3 days' time. Have I picked the worst games ever to come back for? Potentially. I mean, look at the stats. We had the higher XG, we won the moral battle, and we injured Haaland. Their goalkeeper got man of the match. I feel sick. Normally when a player gets injured in matches, I anxiously leave and then wait for the injury inbox item here. Not what I'm looking for today. I just want to click on Haaland's profile and see what the damage is. You want to know it. I want to know it. He's broken his toe. He's out for 5 to 7 weeks. That's a draw. We'll call it a draw. 1-1. Apparently Carlo Ancelotti's looking at Reece James. To be fair, Reece James this year, we've been playing as an inverted wing-back on attack, and he has really shone in this role. He's got 5 goals to his name and 4 assists. He's been arguably our best player, and to be fair, he is very, very good. As I mentioned, that is the first time we've ever lost against Man City. We play them in 4 days' time. I want revenge. We're going to the Etihad again. We might as well just stay in a hotel next to the stadium. Don't go anywhere. Get injured their next strike. We'll break some more toes. Okay, game number 2, Man City, Electric Boogaloo. I would love to beat them. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Casado, not really fit enough to start this game. 45 minutes I could play him in. I think we'll have him on the bench as an option if we need to shut down the game. But in terms of the starting 11... I'm going to keep it the same, which might be a tad bit controversial because you look at the average ratings, especially in the final third, it's not been good enough. Gomez and Fofana have been nailed down as my starting centre-backs this year. I think the biggest issue I have with this Chelsea team right now is I don't really trust Mudryk, I don't really trust Abraham, I don't really trust Madueke, and then I have Victor Roque as the wild card player to potentially bring on. I feel like when our front four don't really have a good day at the office, there is no plan B, and that is an issue. There's no Erling Haaland for them. He can't hurt us. Instead, Carboni is up top for them in this Carabao Cup game where I can see patches of snow and ice. This might be the first snow game I've seen in Football Manager 2024. One occasion. Okay, well, I was looking forward to gleefully introducing you to the Blue Lions, but I've waited half an hour for a highlight here, and nothing has happened in this game so far. I mean, Cancelo's picked up a booking, but besides that, nothing is happening here. There's 5 minutes left of the half. Grealish is on the far side. He's going to whip it in. And the header goes just over. We've been let off the hook. I was well excited by the blue lines and the patches of snow and the fact we were going to use a yellow football. Not even seen any of it in the first half. I'm disappointed with the performance. This isn't good enough. I'm more disappointed with the lack of highlights. If we'd conceded goals, at least then I could have enjoyed the snow. I will just confess at this point, the snow is the exact same in this year's Football Manager as previous years. They've not changed that part of the game. Okay, there's a throw-in on the far side. Are things about to change here? There's some radioactive snow in the middle. Very bright, some of the bits of snow. Either way, I'm being flashbanged by the game. I'll try and keep focused on what's happening here because Akanji has broken down the play and now Man City are on the attack. Rodrigo through the middle gives it to Grealish. He's going to try and get to the byline and make something happen. Lays it into the channel to Goretzka. Cancelo, Rodrigo. Nice build-up play here. Is Grealish onside? I thought he was offside. The linesman's raised his flag. I'll trust the linesman. In the linesman, we trust. This is going to be ruled out. Clear your head, lads. We're going to go again. It's offside. Was he far offside? Was it close? Miles off. Miles. Right, this is another game where we are just not creating a great deal against Man City, which on the one hand, I want to say is concerning, but on the other hand, we're actually giving them a pretty good go by all accounts. I'm going to make some changes. I am going to bring in Casado to play as a defensive midfielder option for us. With that change, though, I am now going to give Mason Mount a bit more permission to get forward. Chilwell, I'm also going to switch to attack. And instead of trying to play nice and narrow, we're going to play really wide all of a sudden. We'll focus the play in the wide areas, just up the directness slightly. Really want to try and take the game to Man City here. I'm just looking at our players in the wider areas. You know what? Victor Roque on you come. Mudryk on you come as well. Ansu Fati, you're the man I'm going to trust and keep on the pitch. Please don't let me down. It's really weird with our team. I feel like there are games where we turn up and we play amazingly and we score goals for fun. But in games like this where we don't create a great deal, the plan B doesn't exist. It's kind of a miracle we're doing as well as we are this season because there's lots of games like this we have at the moment where I just feel quite stumped as to what to change. I mean, this is the first leg of 2 games, of course. We will be playing them back at Stamford Bridge in a few weeks' time. So I suppose it's not the end of the world. But equally, as the time goes by here, I've tried to be attacking. I've tried to make something happen. And nothing has changed yet. But that could all, well, potentially change here. Because Mason Mount has an effort. I mean, it's wide of the post. It's a highlight, I suppose. It's not the best of clear-cut opportunities. Now Man City might have one of their own. Rodrigo down the line to, we're going to pause the game. What is that name? Aboa Avowoduo. I hope I said that correct. I really tried. It might be the greatest name ever. It almost looks like the evolved form of Pseudo-Wudo. You know, the Pokemon. I can imagine that would be his evolution name. Either way, we've got to deal with things here. Harwood Bellis is having an effort. Ansu Fati, Ferguson, we could launch a counter-attack. Can we make something happen here? Ferguson, Chilwell, options down the line. Victor Roque is there. He's ghosting inside. Look at him. Brazilian magic, Brazilian flair. And then a Brazilian save by Edison. If you're like me wondering this, I can confirm Justin here is a real bloke. He has one of the most fantastic names ever. I hope in 10 years, real world commentators have to stumble over that name like I have. The fact that we've injured Haaland, we've then injured Caboni, and they've had to bring on him to be their next striker. I mean, that bodes well for Man City struggling in the future. Sadly, it doesn't matter if they can't score, if we can't score either. This game finishes 0-0. And if you're wondering, by the way, in this game, our goalkeeper got man of the match. So have that. Lucas Perry with a 7.8 gets the man of the match. The bar was lower in that game somehow. I have just been asked if I want to confirm the sale of Enzo Fernandez, and you bet your bottom dollar I do. £63 million. Didn't think I was going to sign anyone in January because I didn't have any money. I now have some money. And if you're wondering, with Manchester United in 2 days' time, well, Jack, surely you must have a target acquired for your transfer, given the fact you've just sold one of your centre mids. I don't have a plan yet. I'm sure I'll find someone. Look, Ziyech is available. We could bring him back or something. Okay, maybe not that. I feel like I need a sexy option on off the bench, a game changer. Someone like James Rodriguez. Yeah, not James Rodriguez. Really, I'm looking for someone who can play accomplished on either wing and I can just bring into the team. Kylian Mbappe has popped up on the list. He'd want wages between £700,000 and £1.1 million a week. I can't afford that. I mean, Darwin Núñez has popped up again. He's on £250,000 a week and he's only just signed a new deal. He would be fun, but I cannot justify him or realistically sign him right now. I love the fact I've asked Mbappe's agent, about the price. He's now leaked it to the press. Yeah, Chelsea are interested in Mbappe. That's not happening. Fake news. In this universe, Dominik Szoboszlai still plays for Leipzig. He would be the kind of player I'm imagining, to be honest. How much would he cost in the middle of the season? 82 million. It's a bit too much. I suppose the issue I'm going to have here is the whole football manager thing where in mid-season, kind of teams don't want to sell players as cheap. Someone like Ferran Torres would be a shout, although he's not very good in football manager, is he? Kolo Muani is currently unhappy and running down his contract. But the price is just too much. Hear me out. I found my solution. Sadio Mane. He's running down his contract at Roma. He is injured. What's the injury? Damaged knee. He's been out for a while. I mean, N'Golo Kante's contract's running out in Saudi Arabia. Does he want to join us? How much is he going to ask for a week? I'm just curious. 550,000. Can't afford that. Full transparency here. It is almost 2 a.m. as I sit and record this video the night before you need to see it. I think rather than me trying to find a player to sign now, probably should play the Manchester United game. Then I can think for the last 2 weeks about what I spend the money on. Maybe I can open up the floor to you guys. Who do I buy? Man City have just won their early kickoff and moved within 1 point of us. We've not won in our last 4 league games. We've not won in either of the 2 games we've done today either. There is a real danger that I'm getting complacent, and whilst I do look at upcoming games and think they're a bit easier, we really have been crap lately. And so it's with that in mind, we're changing things up. Tammy Abraham is going to start this game, and in fact, I'm going to start him as an advance forward rather than as a complete forward. I want him spearheading the attack a little bit more. Elsewhere in the team, Casado did do a fitness test, still can only play 45 minutes, so we are going to stick it out, I think, with Tielemans alongside Mason Mount. I think the reality here is that the average ratings across the board for our entire team are so bad. It's not a case of 1 or 2 personnel not showing up. Everyone's been awful. So, whilst there is a temptation, and you could call me insane for even considering this, there was a temptation to bring in Madueke out on the right-hand side. I'm just going to show a bit of faith. I've had a few chats with players and criticised recent form off camera. I'm going to hope they come into this game reinvigorated as a result. For many of these players, it is their 3rd game in a week, but that's going to be fine. We've only, lost 1-0 on aggregate against Man City across 2 games. It's actually not that bad, but the lack of goals is kind of disturbing. Surely we can't go through an entire episode without scoring, especially with this game being at home. There are no excuses. An early goal, it would settle my nerves. Abraham, Chilwell, Tielemans, lovely build-up play. Abraham scores in off the post. I'm a genius. We just had to play a different striker. If I'm not mistaken, that is Youri Tielemans' first assist for the club. There, doing some deep line playmaker things, but let's be real. It was all about the Tammy Abraham finish in off the post. Sexy. Half an hour played in this game. There has been no further highlights, which if it was 0-0, I'd be panicking about. Since we've got our noses ahead, I'm not going to worry about it quite so much, although we may have some defending to do here because Thuram is in behind, pulling the trigger. It's not the most convincing save by Perry, but it's not hit the back of the net. There is, however, still a corner to deal with. Bruno, don't hurt me. Bruno, don't hurt me. It's McTominay again. That is the second time in this save game McTominay has scored against me. I hate the bloke. The worst thing is that's not even true. I actually quite like him. I like the fact he's been kind of proving the doubters wrong this season in real life, but I just wish he wouldn't score against me in Football Manager. I mean, I don't think it's that much to ask for. Maybe he'll give us an error and give me a chance to score right away. Oh, my word. Varane, by the way, wandering forward there. Tammy Abrams entered the vacated space. Hit it wide, yeah. Varane there went on walkies. That was a good chance wasted. But at least we've created something. We're looking to respond immediately. Can we have more of a response here? And Nkunku inside. I'm getting deja vu. This time it's hit the wrong side of the post. Manchester United's XG massively inflated by the header that was blocked and led to their second effort and goal. Without that goal-mouth scramble that they scored from, they didn't really create anything in that half. Ansu Fati has really struggled out on the right-hand side, considering taking him off, maybe even more so if a goal comes from our right-hand side as we don't clear the ball. He's done it again. He's done it. I hate Scott McTominay. What? Does he do this in everyone's save games? I swear, if I check his player profile and he scored 3 league goals in the last 2 seasons, I will be fuming. Does he just do this against me? I'm so angry. I'm so upset. Last year he got 5 goals. This year he's already got 2 goals. He's got another 2 here. A third of his goals in the last 2 seasons have come against us. Fuming. Okay, an hour played. We have to change things up here a little bit, I feel like. I'm going to move Mason Mount further forward and actually try him as a centre mid on attack with Tielemans. I was going to say Tielemans in the middle. I'm going to bring in Casado, I think, actually, to hold the fort a little bit more. I'm actually going to try something where we have 2 inverted wing-backs on attack who are going to kind of flank either side of Casado. We'll see what happens. Let's try a different approach as well. Let's try focusing the play through the middle, slightly up the tempo. I'm going to make further changes. Mudryk on Newcomb, elsewhere. I'm actually going to take off Mason Mount and bring in Conor Gallagher. And Raheem, I love you, mate. You've been crap again today. I'm bringing on Victor Roque. Talked about the fact I don't have a plan B on off the bench. I'll just put on all the plan Zs and hope that one of them is a good plan B today. 15 minutes left. I mean, it's only 2-1. There's time to turn this around yet. Casado, you've been an inspiration before. Can he inspire again? I don't even know if the shot was on target. I feel like that was a save for the cameras, unfortunately. That said, we're straight from one highlight into another, so something's happened as a result of the changes. Tammy Abraham's getting in behind. He's going to really struggle to score from here, but plenty of players getting in the box in support. One is Reece James. He's going to pull the trigger. It's his 6th goal of the season. Give that man... I was going to say the golden boot, but he's not going to get that. Although, I mean, Haaland's injured. He only has to score like another 30 from right back. It's a great finish. Great finish. He could end up with 3 goal of the season contenders because he scored bangers like that fairly often, it feels like. Okay, there's 12 minutes left in this game. I'm going to shout demand more. I am still on positive at the moment. I'm tempted to go on attacking, but it does feel like this game has changed a little bit with the subs that we've made. So not going to prematurely go all out attack. Although maybe I should be panicking. Anthony nearly scored for United. All right, you know what? 5 minutes left. I'm going on attacking. You can't stop me. We all know what happens. There's not going to be any more highlights, is there? 6 minutes of added time. 4 minutes left. Football Manager. Give us something exciting to shout about. Oh, give me nothing. I mean, we've lost 1 game today and we've drawn 2. And I just feel miserable. According to my assistant there, I was meant to tell the players they were unlucky. Abso-bloody-lutely not. They were crap. But But we did score goals. Let's look at that as a positive. And the other positive is I do have £65 million to spend. Who knows? I could sell more players before the transfer window closes and sign one big boy signing. Speaking of next time, we have got Man City in the EFL Cup semi-final second leg coming up. There's not really an exciting game around it with respect to Brentford, Nottingham Forest and Burnley. They're all teams in the bottom kind of 6 or 7 of the league. We've already played Palace as well this year. I don't know what I'm going to do next episode. If you've got any great ideas, please let me know. We might do the Man City game, see what's happening in the Champions League draw and take things from there. You know what? That seems sensible. Like I alluded to during this episode, I am recording this episode rather late at night. I feel like the commentary was slightly more off topic than usual, but I hope you enjoyed it regardless. I had fun, minus the whole results thing. If you did enjoy yourself, make sure to drop a like on the video. Massively helps out the channel. We're back again tomorrow with more action from Chelsea. What that action's going to be, I don't know. I almost don't want to do Man City again after the 2 games we've done against them today. You've been a lovely audience. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. We'll see you tomorrow for more. I hope it's better than this. I really hope it's better than this. I'm in pain. I'm going to go cry myself to sleep. Good night, everyone.